How did I get here? I mean, here. And how did I move from here to here? But first, we need to start right from the beginning.
Fool me once, fool me twice. When you're hiding things, might as well be lies. Can you ever get it right? How long will I let this lie? Hit up my girls, pull up, I'm outside, waiting by the curb.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Usne. Hope you can call me Usne or Hope. Anything that suits your boats. Welcome to my channel. I said that. Please do kindly subscribe. Please do like the video. I am sharing my disability journey, how I got disabled from a person who was born normally abled and now who lives with limitations. So what happened is I loved a boy, and it turned out that the boy is a narcissist and an abuser. And by the time I found that out, it was too late. And honestly, no, it wasn't too late. I did notice that. However, I thought I was going to be Bob the Builder and change him. I remember at the time sending him a message and saying, if you do not change, I am leaving you. And he pretended he's going to change. And at work, they have social workers and psychologists, and he's going to attend therapy. And he fooled me. Yep, I got fooled. He played me very well. So what happened is there's a full story time on how the beginning of the journey and how all of that. I'm just gonna put a link up here, if not here. Yeah. So basically, I was beaten almost to death. I was tortured almost to death. So those assaults, it wasn't just head injuries as we thought. And even at this, when I was telling these story times, I did not think I was disabled. And even at the beginning of my body failing me, I felt that I was it was ataxic gait, and that was due to a stress that I was going through court cases, because I believed in the justice system at the time, that it was fair, it was going to rule fairly. And I was going through all the trauma that I had lived, and being in court itself was traumatic. So I started having anxiety. I thought it was just, yes, it was anxiety, but it was more than anxiety. I started having heart attacks, only to be found later that it was a heart attack. And so because we thought it was psychological, I went to a psych hospital, and the psychiatrist doing her best. And I love these kind of doctors that try their best, and when they see that, no, I think this is not out of this is beyond me, and say, hey, let's try something else. So she sent me for an MRI scan. Oh, by the way, I had been attending a public hospital, and doctors had been saying that I need to be sent for a scan, because what was happening to me was just not normal, and it needed to be investigated further. And if you've experienced most public hospitals, you'd know that, well, they just play it safe. Oh, you suffer from depression. Oh, you're going through a lot. they'll just throw you off to the psych ward. So that was my case. I went to a psych hospital once I got medical aid and was sent for an MRI scan, and that's when the lesions were found in my body, in my brain. So those lesions led to investigations, years of investigations, in fact. You know, trying to find what is, the real diagnosis. I've been trying from diagnosis, and at the beginning, I love doctors that say, let's not be quick to diagnose. Let's just investigate and just find out more. Yeah, investigate and investigate more. So I was told I had multiple sclerosis, and then the neurologist was like, you know what, for now, let's just, obviously, what's happening, you do have a demyelinating disease. It was a demyelination of the central nervous system. This is whereby the nerves are short-circuited. Go read about it. So furthermore, then we learned that it is a traumatic brain injury. I will be lucky to go to a doctor that I had done an MRI before, and that MRI was perfect because I had headaches. I was suffering from headaches. And now these headaches, had lesions, and the suffering to the head was when this boy had tortured me. So bit by bit, I started losing my walking. Like I said, I thought it was a toxic gait. I have a video in here explaining a toxic gait and saying that I'm going to be better because mine is due to stress. And when the stress is better and it's gone, I'm going to be fine, and I'm going to be walking again, and I'm going to be running again and doing exercises, that fit my body. And at that time, I still had the mindset, to just try and work out and keep out. So until one day I have my periods. So when my periods, my joints turn to be like they're breaking out, and then I am insomniac that night, and during the insomnia, the period pains vanish, and in them vanishing and me being okay, my left leg is still painful. It's not even painful, it's sort of numb. I don't understand what's happening, and I think I ignored, or that day I asked for somebody to drop me food, to deliver food for me, and that alone, sitting down, was a mission I couldn't. On that day, the following day, my body had failed me. I could not do anything. I had to call, because I didn't live at home at the time. I had to call the neighbor, and the neighbor got somebody to drive me back home, and we took the person back to where I was staying, and the pain was not stopping. I was having hallucinations. There was a lot happening that I just couldn't explain. My head felt like it was, I don't know, can't explain, exploding sort of. My body, I can't walk, my hands are not working, nothing of mine is working. I remember the following day, my aunt is like, go to a doctor. She calls my cousin comes, my cousin baths me, and after the bath, we go to the doctor, we go to the closest doctor, and they say he's not there. We go to another doctor, and that doctor writes me a letter to refers me to a physician in hospital. I show the physician the MRI results, the reports, and he's like, oh. He does more tests. He stabilizes me. He finds that I'm suffering from a stroke. There was a lot that I went through. Didn't know doing this was going to take me back, but it was a lot. And now he had to explain that, well, go. For the rest of your life, you're going to be on medication. Which till this was 2023, till date, I haven't accepted that. I struggle with taking my meds daily. From that day, I think I wasn't crying. I cried all the damn time. I cried every day. I cried. And the reason why I was crying wasn't because of I wasn't crying really because of of what you call it, of the diagnosis. I wasn't crying because of the diagnosis. I was crying that I was going to be on chronic medication. I remember this old lady that's next to me was like, you're going to be fine, we're leaving. It's just part of life. And I'm like, it's not part of my life. I'm not ready. You know, there's this joke that goes, I'm for this. I'm too young for this. I'm too young for this. I think the only time I said it was with the stroke diagnosis, with the multiple sclerosis. I didn't know what that is. And I told my little sister to just, you know what, I'm not going to stress myself. Research and tell me by word, because my mind wasn't really working. I couldn't really focus. And yeah, that happened. I remember even Putbegi's mom came to see me. His family, was very supportive. And again, I was crying. I was like, I don't want to take medication for the rest of my life. That can't be me. That is not me. So this was a physician that was seeing me at the time. He referred me back to the neurologist. And the neurologist was like, yep, girl, it's bad. Did a million tests and was like, you know what, for now, let's just leave it hanging. Call it the demyelination of the central nervous system. There are a lot of illnesses. It is just a general term, for a lot of illnesses. Let's see how this goes. That was December. That was November. I was discharged in December. Had a bit of fun December. One thing about me, I just, I went to the South Coast. My aunt, said, come live with me. And I went. I enjoyed my time. I'd be at the beach. And I struggled to stop, taking that one class of one in a while. So I really, really struggled. But yeah, I've never been a heavy drinker, but I was supposed to start that. January came. I went to the local CHC. CHC is a community health center. It's between a clinic and a hospital. Saw this lovely doctor that I fell in love with. Great doctor. He raises, public health doctors, flag high. So proud of him. And he sees me and he's like, what's going on? You're too young for this. Remember, I'm with the catheter now. Are you too young for this? So let's get you more experts in this. He calls and he lies. He says he's from the hospital and he needs a patient seen ASAP, and he is given a date of the following week. I go to the hospital the following week. Well, you gotta understand, with the specialists that are there, they're also attending. As great as they might be, they attend a lot of patients. So their return dates, I was lucky that they gave me a date soon enough, but their return dates are just, a month or more later. So I got a month, and following less than 2 weeks later, I had another appointment with the neurologist in Joburg, the original neurologist that I had been to, and he's a professor. He sees me, he runs an EEG, and he says, red flag, sleep, get admitted in January. I stayed there for a couple of weeks, and now I'm not moving, remember. Nothing of mine is working. I need to be carried, to be put to a wheelchair, wheeled wherever. Yes, I needed to be either carried or pushed into a wheelchair, otherwise I am in bed. I remember even, coming out of the bed, I will have to roll and then have someone sit me in the wheelchair. And that was part of it. So this neurologist also, sends me with, I was still in pain, a lot of pain that was just unexplainable. But because I was in hospital, somewhat sedated, it was somewhat under control, I think. Then he sends me to a rehabilitation clinic. So in rehab, they don't give you strong medication. And the priority is for you to be independent and walk and be your normal self again, and gain your normal self. So sure, I couldn't. I remember my first few days there while I was being assessed. I remember crying because I'm not getting the medication that I was getting while I was in hospital. So the pain is back full force. And I remember crying so much. And the doctor came. They called another doctor. And by this time, there are 3 doctors. And I'm now giving them an ultimatum. I'm telling them, choose. It's either you take me out or you take the pain out. It's either me or the pain, because I'm not living with this pain. There is no way I'm surviving with this pain. Every day of my life, I'm in so much pain. I am struggling. I am suffering. Now, you as doctors, just make a plan. See what you do. So sharp. Very okay. And they thought it was psychiatric. So they ordered, they sedated me and they set up an appointment with my psychiatrist. I went to the psychiatrist, told her no, I'm okay. She assessed me and she felt that she's okay. It's just pain and it's normal. It is not normal to be under so much pain. There is only so much a person can take. So till today, I am usually in pain. I've learned to live with some of the pain, and yeah, and then at some point I was told that I need to come to Durban, see doctors in Durban. That is when I got lucky and met a doctor that I had seen before, a neurologist that I had seen before, and they said, "Do you the receptionist? Do you remember that you've been here before?" And I'm like, "No." And when I went to the doctor, it's like, "Here's an MRI scan. You've done an MRI before." And this is another MRI. So that was the second MRI. No changes. So at that time I had done MRI. This is now 2024. And he sent me, to a psychiatrist as well. Oh, that was where I was going to meet the best team of medical professionals. If I tell you that in Durban, I am not changing them, well, I want to go to Joburg because I want to go to the same, I want to go to the same rehab clinic again because I feel that I couldn't take full advantage of what they offered because most of the time I was in so much pain. I couldn't do the exercises. I'd be in the gym for 5 minutes and I can't take it anymore. I'd try and stand. I can't take it anymore. I'm feeling dizzy. I was always in bed. So what I achieved in that in that rehab center was using my upper body a bit to a certain extent, because I remember even saying that I want to go back to dancing and they said, well, dancing you use your hand, and my hand was still not fully recovered. It's still not fully recovered, but I can say it's at an 80% now, whereby at that time it was between a 40 and a 50%. I You see how even I lean towards this side because even my my spine, my C spine is affected, but so that's why. But I will tell you, in Durban I found oh man, I love them. I love they work together. I remember I had gained so much weight. I gained so much weight, and the physio and the physician were like, she needs to lose weight, and the psychiatrist and the psychologist were like, she's sick. She needs to get better first before she needs to bother about her weight. Even I was worried about my weight, and I would be told the same thing: get better, we will fix your weight. And I am losing weight. So that is how I lost my ability, that is how I got disabled. I think on the next video I will tell you how I started walking from somebody who couldn't walk and was told you're only going to get worse. Rehab couldn't help you. Reality, let's just accept reality. You're probably not going to walk again. Live with it. It's the truth. We're not trying to break you. And the next video, I tell you how I got to walk again, how God is so gracious. When I tell you that in Durban, I met the best medical professionals, all of them together, working together, I mean it. And to me, that was a blessing, because I have come so far where I had been told that where I was told that it was impossible. I think that is the story about how I became disabled. I think that's it. I was tortured almost to death by a man in the SANDF, and the law has failed me multiple times, and they used the fact that I opened a YouTube channel to journal everything that was happening, and they used that fact to further villainize me, but not only to villainize, that was the word that I'm used to, but they used it against me, in fact. So I shouldn't share. What's happening in my life, I shouldn't share. But yeah. Till next time, thank you for being here. I really appreciate your support. Don't forget to kindly, please do subscribe. Please like the video. And yeah, I'll tell you the impacts and the side effects of what I go through after the video that I said I will do for you. Love you guys.